What is soul evolution?
Everything goes through the cycles of creation, preservation, and destruction in the prime material plane or earth plane of existence. A soul that embodies here experiences creation, preservation, and destruction of its lower outer body forms. For instance, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body all grow. Soul evolution is the soul gaining data and experiences and growing.
Hiranyagarbha Yuga Ashram is a non-profit founded in 2019 without a physical location, formed by the students of Satguru Yogi Prabhu Jananda Moksha Brahmananda. In 2020, we found land to live on and we began to build. So far, we've built a small cabin, an outhouse with composting toilets, a large vegetable garden, a small solar electricity system, and a small makeshift kitchen. We live on 116 acres in Western Virginia, and we love it here. So what is the purpose of the ashram?
Um, it's a place, a home, for like real family to happen. And like real brother and sisterhood and real like connection and love between people that, you know, everyone is there to help themselves and to help each other. And that means like on every level, like from the spiritual all the way down to the physical, where you're like living on this piece of land and like getting what you need from it, and then at the same time like you're living with these people and like you're getting all your needs met, you know?
It's a vehicle for like growth and soul evolution and God realization, and through community, through encouragement, and like a loving, non-judgmental atmosphere. But yeah, it's for the purpose of obviously of God realization and knowing the divine and shedding some light on what all of this is about, and offering, you know, being like a beacon, a stronghold, a safe haven for that purpose, you know, in a world of darkness and ignorance.
Like most people, when they say sustainable, we didn't really know what that meant and like really what that meant for us personally. And so the summer was just kind of like the trial and error phase of us really figuring it out. Now we not only have like specific directions, we have like dedicated teams. Obviously people will float around, and as we develop more people can become more specialized if need be. But we have a general like go-to of people for building projects, general leads in terms of like the garden, and like the overall like kind of like the oversight on the project to like flow and like manage the team and just like see that. And so really I think the ashram is like flowing into like the foundation of what it's going to be that we can actually like work from.
The very first structure we tried to build, we built a failed 1 month long deck. Not a very complicated deck by any means, but we just continued to persist at the methods that we were employing, which just weren't working, and really in the end completely failed that deck. And at the same time we're sort of, I'd say, floundering in other aspects, and so we had to like totally sort of reorient, and we reoriented our whole location for building and just sort of big reset. It was like a month into this whole project in terms of being on the land.
I think some of my favorite memories include times where things just happened that were kind of out of our control, like the big thunderstorms that came through the land sometimes, and like how that just kind of brings about this like funny, silly camaraderie. You know, everyone's just like, well, that's, you know, we're kind of at the whim of nature right now, so we're just all gonna enjoy our time together, like take time for ourselves. You know, it's just, there's this niceness about being out in nature so fully that is like kind of brings people more and more together. So yeah, I enjoyed that part of it a lot. Like, we're all here living on pretty much bare land, and the best way for us to kind of deal with everything, or, you know, work with what we have, is like to be grouping together and like getting things done together.
After that foundation was cleared by that divine destruction energy, that is when the divine creation energy can begin to take effect and begin to be applied to this fresh and restarted foundation. And that is when we began to move the earth in the way that would create terraces and create berms, and mold the earth in the way that would suit our goals and work towards our goals of having the garden in the way that we want to have it. There was a chunk of 3 days where pretty much all 12 of us that were actually on the land, all of us were just going absolutely ham on forming and shaping the earth into flatted terraces and berms. And that is a very, very long and arduous process, because it takes a lot to move the earth and move a lot of the earth and move the earth from a slope into flatness. So that's a lot of effort. And for about 3 days straight, there were just 12 of us, just all these huge madocs, which is kind of this pickaxe looking tool, and pickaxes as well, which is a different tool, just going down with such veracity and such force. And you could tell that, like, with each swing of those tools, like the most pure and like lovely motivation was power in each of those swings. You know, just pure willingness to foresee the goal of this ashram. You know, we weren't swinging these tools because we were getting paid to, and we were just looking forward to going home, and this is just our job. We were swinging these tools with a force, motivated by our mission, our divine mission, and our dharma and purpose on this earth.
I've just had many opportunities to understand creation in a really deep way, and like how to actually allow that in a aligned way. You know, how to actually create something with people, how to create relationships with people, how to create community with people, how to create like a building, you know, how to create like a farm, you know, how to just, you know, do anything in this world, which produces a result that aids rather than constricts. And how to forgive myself in that process too, and how to forgive others for learning about that, you know, because any type of, you know, true creation takes tons of forgiveness and tons of, you know, working through doubt, working through judgments, and working through everything, you know. So I've learned a lot about that.
Yeah, it's like learning to allow people to go on their own soul evolutionary journeys.
Yeah.
Within the space.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I say that, it makes it even more clear, like, why we're creating a physical place, you know?
Yeah.
where energies are perpetuated, certain energies are perpetuated because, like, you get to be here and like, even if you had no intention and you were here, like, you would grow so much.
Yeah.
It would be impossible not to.
Yeah. Which is, you know, an accountability to, like, what one actually is, you know, and, like, other people's, you know, because if you even have one person growing up seeing you as what you truly are, you know, you're doing amazing. Like, that's an incredible blessing. If you have 50 people seeing that in you, and, like, not just as, like, a thought, but as, like, a sensory experience, you know, then there's a container, like, that's what's being reflected to you. You know, that's the light that you're experiencing from others, you know, whether you like it or not.
The preservation component, man, when I see and feel and experience preservation, it's just like the most profound peace and serenity, and you know, I think about that in many moments here on the ashram, and I think for me it's when I think about it for myself and how I've experienced it. It's been most easily accessible, or like most just directly present in near, around, and through everything that I'm interacting with when I'm walking to my tent or to my hammock or whatever at night, and just allowing myself to be at peace and reflecting on the day, or, you know, singing Sri Rams, or, you know, whatever it may be. It's a lot of, and it's a conscious choice that's being made, you know, to participate in that peace.
And it was a beautiful evening. It was sunset and the twilight set in, so all the lake was imbued with this gray blue color, and the sky also had this blue color to it, this blue gray, or blue purple actually. And I felt so much serenity. It felt like the whole world was just brimming in the state of serenity. And I felt no fear. I had no fear at all. I had no worries at all. It was just sweet peace all around. And that night, I remember laying in my tent once we got home, and I felt spiritual adjustments take place. I felt my ego being whittled, and I had a nice adjustment within myself that night. So it was a perfect conclusion to a summer of steady growth, and I've developed more and more serenity within myself.
For many of us who are participating in this project now, we've each been working on ourselves individually and have had so much growth because of this divine momentum that we're cultivating and working on through meditation and practice, and that has become so deeply fulfilling in our own individual lives. And this project is like a manifestation of that by all of these beautiful beings. And so, you know, we just have this one building and this one garden right now that's evident for your eyes to see in the physical, in this land we're on, and a couple of different things. Compost toilets, very nice. But this whole project is flooded with that divine momentum that has been the life's blood of each of our practice and our lives. And so that is what is so beautiful. And it will be more evident on the external and in the physical as we continue to do the different works. But that is what's really nourishing and feeding it all. And so that's why it brings so much love and joy to me to even think about, what this project is and what it's becoming. Namaste.
If you want to come and visit Hiranyagarbha Yuga Ashram, in order to experience spiritual growth and the true power of God's healing energies, write to us on Facebook. You may come for as long as you want, regardless of what you can pay, as long as you are devoted to walking the spiritual path of love with us. I love you very much. Namaste.